Okay, so my blog slash podcast is called The Millennial Hunter. The purpose of Millennial Hunter is to have a blog and podcast which focuses on everyday millennials and hunters who do not fall under society's biased views. The biased views being, millennials are spoiled, rotten kids who don't know how to work and they're ungrateful, and that hunters are bloodthirsty rednecks who have no concern for life. And those things are the furthest thing from the truth. And I wanted to show that. And so thus I created the podcast and blog. It's a place where people are able to find hunting tips and tactics, gear reviews, and other anything hunting topics, archery, weaponry, hunting seasons, how to draw tags, things like that. And hopefully you'll be able to give people that information and also provide them with a little bit of excitement for their upcoming hunts. So the market, there's actually very few hunting blogs out there. Mostly people turn to forums or Facebook groups, and those just aren't as reputable, I guess. I mean, maybe it's reputable because it's real, they know it's real-time people, but it's just not as professional as what could be. And so having a hunting blog is a great way to spread good information. The top competitors that I have are Knock On and Wired to Hunt. Very big companies. Knock On has a TV show. Wired to Hunt is a really big hunting podcast. It's hard to compete with them, but they also have a few weaknesses that I'm able to capitalize on. In the market for a hunting blog and podcast, there are thousands of listeners who listen to podcasts all the time, specifically outdoor and hunting podcasts. And they're always looking for more information to bring in. It's a really tight-knit market. It seems like everybody knows everyone, but I feel like I'm able to still fairly easily start a podcast and get into the market and be able to rub shoulders with some of the bigger names in the hunting industry. And I'm also seeing that in my market research, my competitors focus mostly on whitetail hunting and hunting in the eastern and Midwest states. I'm going to focus on western big game hunting, and especially out here in Utah. So my targeting and positioning, my target is the millennial aged people between ages 18 to 35, predominantly male, who are avid outdoorsmen and hunters, and who live and hunt here in the western United States. Instagram is the biggest social media platform. I use that heavily along with Facebook. And then the biggest thing that I'm trying to do to position myself in the market is produce high quality content and produce it regularly, hopefully posting at least once a week and bi-weekly when I can. So let's go over to the blog. So here's a little bit of the layout and design of my blog. Start there with a header. Just a brief run through what it looks like. The cover page. This is my header image, just a image of great scenery up in the mountains, along with my logo there. Hopefully branding that into people's minds when they're able to see Millennial Hunter and recognize it quickly. Let's see what else. Design and header. So my different pages, this is my home page, just has the most recent posts, whether it be podcast episodes or blog posts. Recently it's just been mostly blog posts. Haven't had time to do podcasts. But then I have separate pages that divide the two. There's a podcast page, shows the most recent podcasts, and then if you click on the continue reading, it takes you to where you can listen right in from the website, from themillennialhunter.com, or you can choose to listen on iTunes and or Google Play. And then writings is where I have my regular blog posts with narratives and the sectionals and reviews and all of those. And so that's right there, top most recent 3, and then you can go down, click on older posts, and find more that's coming. I guess right now, so this is my how-to video. I'll just show a little bit of it since we're already right here.
Alright, today I'm going to teach you something really simple and something you probably already learned before, and especially beginning archers, this is key so that you're able to shoot straight when you're out in the field or just doing target practice. And it's...
Anyways, that's my how-to video. I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'll take up my entire presentation. But so that's my writings page. Then my contact page, very simple, just a little box so that people can send in critiques or reviews or questions, whatever they have. My about page has a little bit about Millennial Hunter, the blog and podcast, and then a little bit about me as the host. Also, my final page is the FAQs with the few questions that I've gotten in the past, or able to answer them quickly so that people have that information real nice. Let's see. We'll go back home and look at these sidebars that I have. So I have a search bar so that people can get, if they're looking for specific information, they can just type it in. It'll search the whole website and bring up what they need. And then this is also, these buttons are also my HTML. I was able to do an href with this. The subscribe to iTunes button, and it takes you to a new page so that you can subscribe right there to via iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, and then same with Google. It takes you to the Google Play page, and you're able to, if you have a device that only uses Google Play, you're able to subscribe to the podcast there. Then I have my Facebook page, along with my Instagram page and my most recent posts, my 3 most recent posts. So that's a sidebar. My posts, I already showed it. They're divided up. The podcast just starts at the most recent. I'm at episode 22, but then you can go down all the way down to episode 1 via this page, and then the normal writings. Normal blog posts are right there, and same thing. The most recent 3, you can go all the way back to my first post that I put up. I already showed you my how-to video. So anyways, I learned a lot from this project. I learned that, starting a blog can be hard. It's a lot of work to put in, but it's also a very fun thing to do and takes a lot of time. And if you really want to, you could even make it a career or even just a little bit of a side hustle. I'm still pushing forward with this. I've been approached by different companies about not necessarily sponsorship, but teaming up to do a podcast with them, do a gear review. Ends up being more like a discount code for the listeners, and they usually throw in free product once in a while for me. I also had a book publisher reach out to me asking me to cover a new hunting book that just came out about a month ago, called The Hunter's Way. And so I'm almost done with that, and then I'll do a blog post on that, and then a podcast episode with my co-host Ashton. And yeah, that's kind of cool. Didn't get paid for it, but it's still cool that I got to review a book. And anyways, that's the Millennial Hunter podcast and blog.